Today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Go over and get you a free audiobook 30-day free trial over at www.audibletrial.com/nerdcave. You can be picking up Timothy Zahn's new book, Thrawn. It's freaking awesome. Or you can get Ahsoka. You can get all these Star Wars books because everybody loves Star Wars. If you don't love Star Wars, what are you doing with your life? There's over 180,000 titles, though, to choose from. You can get it on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle. And if you have an MP3 player and what are you doing with your life, you can get that there as well. So go over to audibletrial.com/nerdcave and grab you one of those new books. Get smart. We read at the Nerd Cave. We read. Build it beautiful. What's up, everybody? This is Zach here with the Nerd Cave Podcast, episode 224. And I'm joined along with the bearded sultan himself,
Robbie Rawls.
Robbie, beard always looking on fleek, my friend.
It has been lately.
We've got a ton of news, but before we get into that, everybody, hey, nice shout out to all the people that are over on patreon.com/nerdcave, supporting us over there, making dreams come true, keeping these hot lights on.
Very hot lights.
Helping us buy body oil so
Cheers
we can
to you. Lather each other
up. And, you know, that's not all they get. They get live streams each and every week of the podcast early before anybody. They get Let's Plays a day early. They can get the audio versions. It's been nice and edited. Oh, yeah. They can get the video versions nice and edited. They can be a Patreon producer and get shout-outs in the show. They can get shirts. They can do all of this stuff.
They can do a lot of things.
If they go over to patreon.com/nerdcave and help us out over there. Toss a few dollars. And if you can't toss a few dollars and make Robbie holla, well, you can go over to youtube.com/nerdcave network and get all of our content on the podcast side for free, day by day, as we break them up segment by segment. Until Friday, we put out the whole kit and caboodle. We put that whole kitten out there. We didn't half it up. We've already murdered several kittens.
Many kittens. So we saved that one.
Yeah, we saved that one. We have a litter. We murdered one. We pieced it out through the whole week and we're like, here's a kitten.
We have the 2 sacrificial lambs.
Yeah. Well, you get the live stream one. That's like a brand new. That's like right out of the womb kitten. And then you get the early access edited one. That's a little bit older one. A little bit, got a little nice bow on it because we edited it. Okay. Yeah. And then you have the one that's been chopped up into pieces. That's what you get here at the Nerd Cave. So you can wait till Friday, though, and get the whole thing over on podcast services around the globe. And if you would kindly rate us on iTunes, it helps us out a ton.
Tremendously.
Now, we've got a ton of bloody news, and I'm going to shout out one person's name right now. Derek Daniel.
He's shouting.
Thank you for helping us out, getting all of these together. Now, last week we talked about PlayerUnknown Battleground reaching for that top spot.
PUBG.
And it's just reaching that top spot of concurrent, consecutive C words that mean the same players. Well, guess what? PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is now the most played game of all time on Steam. When we last checked in, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds slowly becoming the most popular game in the world, and it topped Dota 2 as most played game on Steam for a time, but it hadn't beat the latter's all-time record of 1,291,328 concurrent players, which Dota 2 had reached in March of last year. Well, it has now.
Has it?
It has now. Battlegrounds today peaked 1,349,584 players as of writing this. The highest any game has ever had on Steam. Woo!
I want to see the audio waves on that rant right there.
This is also
especially our woo.
Higher than many popular games outside of Steam, including Destiny 2, and yet another impressive milestone for the game's popularity. The game still has room to grow as it's still in early access. Next up, can Battleground PUBG take down Overwatch? Can it take it down?
That's going to be a feat, but I mean, at this point,
how many is it at?
Concurrent or sold?
Concurrent. Sure.
Concurrent 1,349,584.
Isn't Overwatch is at like 23 or 25 million, right?
I'm not sure. You have to look that up. You have to look that
You're
up.
the fact checker, homie.
Now, along with that, Steam has now crossed 15 million concurrent users at one time.
Oh, beautiful.
That it used to be 11 million, but now we got 15 million, and they got all the crappy games that you could ever want.
Yeah, plenty.
And then you got the few gems in there.
Diamonds in the
That is crazy to me. I when we talked about it last week, I knew it was happening. I knew it was close. So I'm happy for them. How many we got over there?
It has 30 million registered players.
Registered, not concurrent.
So we can.
I'm trying to find like the actual.
It's okay. It's okay.
Because I'm a registered user.
I am too, but you see how many times I open that thing up. Yeah.
I would assume it's probably at, if that's how many they have registered, I'm gonna guess it's at least like 13.
Yes, because Overwatch does not run through Steam; it runs through BattleNet.
Yeah,
So,
it runs through BattleNet, and
so that would be a
also
different thing.
following. And then they also have it on PS4 and Xbox. I know that PUBG is moving; they're eventually going to get out on.
Yeah, they're going to be on Xbox soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that number is only going to go up.
Oh yeah.
I think last week we said they crossed the 10 million mark in sales, or 11 million. I can't remember off the top of my head. While Allie looks that up, Friday the 13th developers addressed DLC single-player plans. Despite a slew of technical design concerns, Ilphonic's interactive take on Friday the 13th has sold quite well. I am one of them. I love that game. On its forums, the developer posted an image of what it plans to release and when. The dates are not exact, but on the roadmap, you can see that Halloween and winter, or perhaps Christmas, are icons denoting that things like new counselors, maps, items will hit before the dates. So far, these are the things that we've received. We've received the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
We've got a free clothing pack. We've got Retro Jason, which is from the NES. Friday the 13th. We've got fast-paced maps, which are smaller maps, and that's as much as what has been released so far. And we've got several things real quick here. I'll run through them. You get a free emote pack, Spring Break 1984 clothing pack.
Ooh.
Can't wait for that one. Part 4, Jason, which will be very cool, I'm sure. The Jarvis House map. We get new counselors, new kills, new clothing, and then Halloween happens. Okay,
there's something big that's going to happen Halloween. It has to.
I'm sure it's going to be like 3 times or double XP weekend. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big hoopla there. After Halloween, we get Virtual Cabin 2.0. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't been playing in a few
VR.
weeks. Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna put my VR on. Offline bots, so you could train being as Jason. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we get the single player challenges demo. So we get some single player action before Christmas here. We get new counselors, then a new map, and then winter or Christmas happens. And then we get the new Jason, we get a new clothing, new game mode, which I'm assuming that's single player.
Yeah.
And then we have single player challenges, new Jason, and new map. So
it's a nice little layout.
What I'm seeing is like we're going to get a bunch of stuff before Halloween. We're going to get a bunch of stuff after Halloween. And then I will say the single player is probably going to be coming out February to March. That first quarter of next year.
Yeah.
And that will bring us into, 2018 pretty well. So I'm excited for them. The developer has also talked about how the Xbox One version has been getting its updates a lot slower than the PS4 and the PC versions. And they were talking about the patches, said the reality is that as of right now the cert process for Xbox takes the longest of the platforms, and if something happens it starts the process over again, said Joshua Jertz. So what they've been doing is like it's kind of a bottleneck, so they put a lot of things that they're patching all at once and then puts it out there for Xbox.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to do it, but they are working on new content for the game, but they wanted to make sure the game was in really good condition before they started putting out the single player and all of that. And we talked about this about a month or so ago about them actually confirming they were doing single player. I am excited. What do you think? I
think bringing in a single player is going to it has its own challenges because I mean, playing with other people is the funnest part of this game. So it has to do something extremely interesting in the single player. But I mean, all in all, this game is going to be fun. I like the new stuff that they're bringing out, and I like how they give you a map because that's usually where we're stuck is not knowing when to expect these. And Friday the 13th is like, here it is. This is when you're getting it. Be happy.
Yeah, and it's vague enough not to like be out in front and be like, hey, it's coming out this date and then have to push it back or anything. I like that they're, it's vague enough and it's like you should expect all of this before Halloween, right after Halloween, before Christmas, and then after Christmas you should expect all of this. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. I hope with the single player stuff that we're actually going to get a story, not just the multiplayer in a single player version with just bots where you're just hunting Jason or you're hunting counselors as Jason. I hope there's actually some kind of story along with it. Okay. So that's what I'm hoping. Let us know what you think about that in the comments below. Now, this breaks my heart. It makes me cry inside, but it's something that I assumed was, but they're probably working on something pretty awesome. There is no new Batman Arkham games in development, according to recent statements from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Kevin Conroy.
Who is he?
Batman.
The Batman.
He's Batman. If you don't know who he is, we don't need to be friends.
I thought they announced it a while ago that they weren't going to be making any more, at least not for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I was like, crazy?
Is there a new Batman Arkham game in development? No.
Probably not.
There's not. Well, according to Kevin Conroy, who voices Batman in the game, there's currently nothing in development at all. Speaking to the crowd at Wizard World Nashville, the Batman the Animated Series voice actor stated, "I can't believe they're not going to do another one, but they're not. Isn't that amazing? They literally made billions of dollars on those games, but no, there's no plans to do another one. Sorry." Of course, when Rocksteady wasn't developing the WB Montreal game, Arkham Origins, Roger Craig Smith came in as Batman, and so did Troy Baker. He came in as the Joker, except for, not Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
So we could be seeing Warner Brothers shipping out the Arkham game to some other known quantity.
Yeah.
Some other WB, Monolith might pick it up after Shadow of War when they're, sucking everybody dry and, charging people to buy a dead man's character. Did I say that out loud?
A little bit.
I did. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
But we saw a close to the Batman saga. Arkham Knight closed everything down. It closed up shop and went on its merry way. We had the Joker die in Arkham City. Everything's pretty much done here.
Yeah.
They've done all that they can. So I'm hoping that we're getting something that is like a Justice League game. A really good Superman game would be fantastic.
I agree. Done right.
Yes, there is. Read Red Son. That's good. Something interesting. A Green Arrow one would be awesome.
I agree.
Flash would be really cool as well. Like, there are several things that you could do, and with them doing Batman, I think Batman to Green Arrow would translate really well.
Yeah.
So
I'd even like to see some kind of like Teen Titans type game.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think that would be cool as well. I'm just curious how they would work that one. You know what I mean? Like the team aspect of it. So same thing with Justice League. You're going to have to work with something on that.
It could be like the Avengers game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, that's not really their style, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've got that third-person, very, like, hands-on, fighting style. Ultimate Alliance is a totally different thing.
It's true.
And they already have DC Universe Online. So, I don't think they would go that way of everything. But it's interesting to hear, that they're not working on one from Kevin Conroy. Yeah. So, that means they're probably done for a while. If they go back to it, they're going to have to go before Arkham Knight. In my opinion, there was a lot of rumors and hints that the Damian Wayne would be, Batman in the next game. So it might happen, it might not. But from Kevin Conroy, there ain't nothing going on.
Not yet, at least.
Now, there is something going on over at Nintendo. There's been a ton of news from Nintendo this week.
They've been killing it.
And we're going to dive deep in that. We're going to, when that that dinosaur on Jurassic Park, the first one, was having like stomach problems, and they had to put that huge glove on and like reach deep in there and just pull it out. Just and like, that poop was all the way up on the shoulder. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're
like
pulling,
sticking our hands up Triceratops butt.
We're pulling the.
Who's the Triceratops in this case?
Nintendo. We're giving you the poop on Nintendo here. Nintendo is working on an achievement or trophy system for Switch, says Indie Dev. The Nintendo Switch may soon be joining the ranks of other consoles by introducing an integrated achievement or trophy system, if the words of a group of indie developers are to be believed. During a Reddit AMA, behind the team behind Lichspear, I guess that's how you say that, which is coming to Switch, were asked about whether the game would support online rankings. In the reply, the team member Tom indicated that they were hoping to add rankings along the way. It goes on to say, Nintendo doesn't have an official support for achievements and leaderboards like Sony or Microsoft, but we know that they're working on it. When called out on it, Tom responded with a guilty oops before adding that he thinks Nintendo has hinted it a few times. If these devs are to be believed, do you think it's a little late for Nintendo to be getting into the achievement and trophy system?
I do, because how many people have already played through a lot of the games for Switch already, and plus, you know, achievements and stuff have carried over for Xbox.
Since the 360.
And I feel like they're late to the party, but I mean, why not throw it in there? I mean, I think it'll be fun for the people who, you know, who are just Switch owners. I mean, I'm sorry that you're just a Switch owner, because there's so much great things on other systems as well. But you know, people who sticking to that'd be something interesting for them.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they're wanting to introduce it now. I know for me, I was a huge achievement guy. It was a huge thing for me back in the 360 days. Trophies, it's nice to see my rank go up as, you know, the more games I play, but it's not as big of a deal, I think, these days as it used to be. I remember 360 had them, and then PlayStation saw how big of a thing they were and introduced them a little bit later in the life cycle of the PlayStation 3. And it definitely, you had that culture, and there's always that culture with each system that you're playing. Steam has achievements that you can get as well.
Yeah.
But I think overall that tenacity that it used to have is much, much quieter than it used to be. I think it would be nice to have to like kind of have this digital, you know, list of things that you've done in game. That's always a nice thing to see, you know, just like the clans on Destiny, like, oh, I met my quota of experience points for the clans this week. Oh, I did a strike, I did a crucible thing, I got that checked off, you know, and seeing all of that is nice. And, you know, be like, oh, I need to do this weird task that I didn't know could be done in this game to get this. It would be interesting. I don't know that it will sell systems.
It's not going to push,
but I think it will be something, just an additive to the whole thing.
It is nice, because I know me and you and our healthy competition we had back in the day with our scores. It is nice whenever we're playing with somebody and they're like, oh wow, you got such and such achievement score. And, you know, yeah. And, you know, it's nice, but they're like, they recognize.
Yeah. Like when we were playing, I think, Conan that one night, and someone was like, oh, and I saw your achievement score, and then saw mine, and I was just like,
yeah, you got ahead of me. I took a year off. Church cult camp.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think it will just add more to it. Nintendo's doing a good job with Switch. Allie, what do you think about that?
I think that, yeah, like, in grand scheme of things, it's a little late, but now's a good time to do it because the Switch is so new, and so, like, they're constantly adding stuff, so I think that now's a good time to do it, and, yeah, like, they can be fun, and I feel like some stuff, if it's, like, I think that they might apply certain things, like, retroactively, like, okay, you did this in a game, not like, you killed these many enemies, or this, or whatever, because that...
You beat...
But say, like, yeah, you got, like, this many milestones, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like they would give you retroactive, like, trophies or achievements, whatever they're going to call them for that. But, yeah, and then again, like, because they, at least, like, the games that people actually want to play, there aren't that many of them on the Switch.
There's a bunch of games on the Switch.
I'm saying that people really want to play. Like, the big ones. I can think of like 3.
Well, you've got Zelda,
Mario.
Splatoon 2,
Splatoon and ARMS.
ARMS,
Mario.
Oh, well, Mario's not out yet.
Mario,
Well,
Kingdom Rabbits, whatever, Kingdom
That's
Battle.
right, that just came out.
So that's
okay,
4.
So there's like 5.
But you've got some really awesome indies on there as well.
Sure,
Yeah.
no, I know, I agree. But yeah, I think it'll get people like. So you have all these games, and so yeah, the achievements could help sell the indie games, and it'll give people who have already beaten games like Zelda and all the other ones something to kind of go back and do. So I think it's good.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they retroactively do anything. I know PlayStation didn't, from all that I recall. But Nintendo news rolls on.
We're still in that Triceratops.
Yeah, just pulling it out, man. Nintendo is bringing back the NES Classic in 2018, responding to the tremendous reception that currently discontinued NES Classic received. The company has announced that it is bringing the retro system back in the summer of 2018 with new shipments. Nintendo says further timing details will be announced later, and it did not specify how many NES Classics will be shipped or if it will be available indefinitely once it returns. As for the upcoming SNES Classic, the company says it plans to ship the product into 2018 after originally saying that would stop in 2017. Recently, the North American president of Nintendo, Reggie Fils-Aimé, assured customers that there would be enough SNES Classics go around, and therefore we should resist temptation to be gouged via online auctions. I think, we've had problems with the Switch not having the right components to be made. Their production side of things has been very bad because part of the Switch is also used in like iPhones and like Galaxy, all of that. So it's been like Nintendo fighting to get these, and they see that the NES Classic is a much easier thing to make and just ship out. So they're kind of like tiding people over, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the Switch has been a little bit easier to get recently, but I think this is just a way to kind of appease people, because a lot of people still don't have them.
I don't have one, and I want one.
Yeah, thanks to Derek Daniel for getting me one for my wedding. That's the only way I got one, because I won't go play in that game. I won't go play in that game, Nintendo. But I do have a Switch. So now this game, I can't wait for it to come to the Switch, and they just keep putting more and more into it, and that's why it is so freaking well received.
It is.
Rocket League is adding seasonal arenas, user-created tournaments, and more. Psyonix has detailed the next update as well as a long-term roadmap for its popular car soccer game Rocket League. In the immediate futures, players will enjoy new seasonal and standardized arenas, land support, and over 90 free items. That's awesome. The autumn update begins with seemingly small change that Psyonix says has been a big ask within the community: transparent goals. So when you're inside the goal post, like if you're inside your goal and the ball comes near you, we all know you can't see that thing. So now when the ball gets near the goal, it will go transparent so you can see where the ball is. So you can act more on it. So I think that's an awesome thing that they're going to be adding.
Yeah, that helps out a lot, especially your defenders.
Yeah, because there's some people that are awesome defenders, and then there's some people that are good scorers, and then there's me. Yeah. I'm neither. This change, which affects every map in the game and can be toggled on and off, is meant to increase awareness for competitors playing at the goal line position. In addition, all non-standard arenas are being converted to a rectangular shape for competitive play. Non-standard shapes will still be available in private and less traditional game modes. Players are also receiving new seasonal arenas on rotation for fall season. Players can compete in Farmstead, set on a beautiful countryside as leaves turn.
That is pretty.
The update also introduced a beta for director mode, and the beta pretty much, the director mode is going to let Rocket League be a more viewable and aesthetic thing. So you're going to see that a lot more in the esports side of things. With YouTube, like people doing these huge tournaments, which we're fixing to get into that. You're going to see that, and the AI, it's powered by an AI camera that predicts goals, shots, saves, assists, and cuts to the player. They're also preventing it where the camera is going to be like over here and like jump over here and do all that, which will, of course, disorient the viewer. So they're making sure that it is where it's going to be kind of a seamless, like if you're watching a football game, they're headed more towards that. Along with the autumn update, players can look forward to obtaining over the 90 free items to deck out their cars, from an avocado with a face on it to a dragon wings. Players can show off their personality more than ever. In addition, the autumn update is adding LAN support for PC players. Though through LAN Play, you can host parties and local tournaments. The feature is planned to come to other platforms at a later date. Now, the big one is interesting to me. This one is just really cool. The big addition Science is planning, however, is a new in-game tournament feature. Through this new system, players can host anywhere from 8 to 128 teams. Could you imagine 128 teams? That's just crazy.
I agree.
So this is bracket style tournaments, of course. All game modes are supported, but if you're looking to compete in a specific way, you can filter to find the right tournament. To incentivize participation, Psyonix will hand out item rewards to competitors. This functionality is coming to Steam as a beta in late fall, but if all goes well, it will expand to the other platforms afterwards. The autumn update will hit your consoles and everything else on September 28th. While the rest of the features or long-term roadmap will roll out in later dates.
No, that's exciting because we could have a nerd cave.
Yeah, we could have a huge tournament. Huge tournament.
I agree.
That would be cool.
I like it.
I love that this small group of developers has made this game, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger
and better.
And bigger. Yes, and better. Jeremy Dunham, which former IGN employee, works there. He's one of the head of Psyonix, doing a fantastic job.
Agreed.
And with them going to PlayStation Plus, like just rocketed that game out.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just grown everywhere, from Steam to Xbox to PlayStation, and now we're going to get it on the Switch. Oh, cannot wait. Now, back to some Nintendo news. We're back in that Triceratops. Minecraft is coming to the new 3DS, not the new 3DS, the Nintendo 3DS. Nintendo announced during its latest Direct that Minecraft was coming to the 3DS. If you're impatient, you won't have to wait long, though. Either the new Minecraft Nintendo 3DS edition will be available digitally today, so it's already out, with a retailer version coming out later. The 3DS version of the popular game includes 5 skin packs and a pair of texture packs. Players will be able to use system touchscreen for inventory crafting or for accessing the map. The announcement didn't mention the special Nintendo themed world that was featured on the Switch and Wii U versions. So Microsoft, when they bought Minecraft, like that was a big purchase. They're making money hand over fist.
Oh my god, they're making so much
money.
It
is on freaking everything. So good job on them. Now I sent this photo of these amiibos to Allie earlier this week. Breath of the Wild Champion amiibos have been detailed. The brief mention of the Champion's Ballad DLC for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in today's Nintendo Direct was not a detailing of the DLC itself, but rather the use of Champion amiibo within the game. The 4 Champion amiibo, based off the 4 long-dead champions from the main game, will function much like their other amiibos do. The other amiibo does? The other amiibo... Yeah, I know. That's who wrote this? Where's this from? Game Informer. Within the game by generating items from the sky. The major way this set differs, however, is that each separate champion will also drop pieces for a helmet based on that champion's divine beast. Details what those helmets do has not been revealed yet, but they definitely look cool. The amiibos will be released on November 10th, which is a good bet for the window for the Champion of the Ballad DLC. And you can see them right there. They look freaking cool.
They do. And this is a game, like I said, I really, really, really want to play. I'm hoping... and we'll talk to Mom and we'll talk to Dad and we'll be like, hey, Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
I want the Switch. That's all I want.
You want to Switch?
Not the Switches I got as a child, but
Or you want to like Switch?
Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay. Just making sure we're clarifying here.
Yeah.
Now, the news keeps going. I'm excited about those amiibos. Might be the only ones that I get because they look really, really cool.
They do.
Awesome.
They're, also they're amiibos, so they're going to be expensive. Now, if you're holding your breath, if you've been like Nintendo, I'm going to hold my breath until I get the virtual console on the Nintendo Switch. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you have an oxygen tank hooked up to help you out there to keep going.
You'd still be breathing if you wouldn't. If you're holding your breath,
I know.
you still wouldn't be getting that oxygen.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to help them out. I don't want them to die because Reggie ain't like Todd Howard. He don't come out on stage.
Good old Reginald.
Yeah. Nintendo, though, is launching Arcade Archives on Switch. It's not the virtual console, so don't get excited, everybody. Nintendo didn't reveal any virtual console on Switch news during the latest Direct, but the company did highlight a way that Switch players will be able to access a variety of retro games. It's launching a new line of downloads called Arcade Archives later this month, starting with Mario Brothers. Starting September 27th, Switch owners can download and play a variety of familiar games with notable twists. Unlike the earlier releases of these games, which were available on Wii and Wii U's Virtual Console, these are straight from the arcades rather than their NES counterparts. The first game in the Arcade Archives series is Mario Brothers, and it features animations and gameplay elements like falling icicles that players who only know the game from the NES version may not have previously seen. Subsequent entries in the series may offer similar surprises, such as a handful of levels in Verse Super Mario Brothers that were later incorporated in the Super Mario Brothers 2, aka the Lost Levels, and the vertically oriented Punch-Out that doesn't feature Little Mac. Here are the Arcade Archives games that Nintendo has announced. Mario Brothers versus Super Mario Brothers versus Balloon Flight versus Ice Climbers versus Pinball versus Clue Clue Land and versus Punch Out, because it's got 2 exclamation marks.
Oh, that's why you had to put that extra.
I did. We're getting something.
You're getting a small sample, like when you walk around the mall, the food court, and the little lady hands you here, try this piece of chicken, and you're just like, oh, that tastes really good. I really wished I had some more.
I wish, the GameCube, like some GameCube games would come on. Like this is not Virtual Console. So.
No.
And then she stabs you like right in the jugular with
the toothpick. And
be like, don't test me again. And then that lady pulls off her mask and it's Reggie.
I think that's it. I think you nailed it.
I'm glad that they're doing something, but I would love to get the actual Virtual Console. How many times do I buy, Super Mario, Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
How many times am I going to buy that game? Never.
Yeah.
Because I got it on my NES Classic now. So you ain't getting that out of me.
Nope, you still shouldn't.
But if you love Mario, October is almost here. We're halfway through the month of September.
I know, it flies. So
it's flying like an eagle to the sea.
Fly like an eagle. Right, we can carry on.
Super Mario Odyssey Edition Switch is coming in October. If Nintendo Switch continues to be red hot at retail, odds are it will be hard to find this holiday, that is the hard line that Nintendo has to walk here. Like, the holiday season is the time that Switches, or like any kind of console, is sold. Like, that is where it's sold the most, because everybody's like, I'm going to buy a little Johnny. I'm going to buy a little Johnny and one of them Switches. Bill, are you listening to me, Bill? We're buying Johnny a Switch. I can go outside and get him a Switch right now. That's Bill. Bill don't understand.
Sure, that guy sounded like David.
If Super Mario Odyssey lives up to Mario's legacy of great 3D titles, the physical version of the game may be hard to find as well. That's why you buy digital, son. Why you buy digital.
I agree.
Nintendo is releasing a new bundle that combines the Switch hardware with its physical copy of the game. The hardware comes with 2 red Joy-Cons, as well as Super Mario Odyssey carrying case. You'll find this bundle on store shelves when the game releases on October 27th. October 27th. There's been no price given on this. So if you can't find a Switch that isn't a bundle, this might be the bundle you get.
Yeah.
That is just my opinion on that. All right, more Nintendo news. I told y'all.
We're deep into that Triceratops.
Man, it is like Robbie's had to get a glove, and we're just pulling.
We're both pulling.
We're pulling all that Nintendo goodness out. Nintendo has unveiled the new 2DS XL models, including a Pokeball version. During today's lengthy, it's so lengthy, Nintendo Direct video presentation, the focus shifted away from games for a few seconds to introduce new hardware. Among those items are 2 new versions of the Nintendo 2DS XL. People who want to play the forthcoming Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games, which are just Sun and Moon with a new coat of paint.
Yep.
And the style can pick up a Pokeball-themed Nintendo 2DS XL on November 3rd. The model features the iconic red and white tones of the Pokemon catching device. If you want something that's a little more subdued, or perhaps in the Halloween pumpkin spice spirit, which is, if you like pumpkin spice, you like cinnamon. Let's just be honest. It doesn't taste like pumpkin. It is freaking cinnamon. Am I right?
I'm right.
Am I right, Allie?
Yeah.
Don't be basic.
Don't be basic white girls.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't be an alley.
I mean, I actually, I'm not the biggest PSL fan. I don't know the last time I had one.
What is PSL?
I'm just Spice Latte.
Oh, okay. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want gaming content, you can go over to Nerd Cave Gaming right there. If you want to support us, you can check out Patreon right there. If you want more videos, check them out right here. Go ahead, pick one of them. I wonder which one you're going to do. If you're going to be cool, you'd pick any of them. All 4 of them. You'd be awesome.